1,500 to 2,000, not in there. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Randy's Race Car Garage, part of the Randy Pobst YouTube channel. I got 5 projects scattered all over the place, and today we're flashing back to resurrect a barn find race car, and we asked you the question in a video back when we first started the channel. Have a look. That video asked you, which car would you rather have us resurrect first? I had a BMW E36 M3 race car that had been tire walled up in Midwest. I got a Firebird I found in a trailer that I used to race against in World Challenge. And that thing's been sitting in a trailer that leaks for 12 years. We asked, which one do you want? And I counted up the votes, and shoot, it's neck and neck. I mean, the election was really close. And we don't have any mail-in ballots, so there's nothing coming in at the last minute to change the outcome. It's neck and neck. But you know what changed the outcome? COVID. The BMW is over at Lanier Tech, a technical school nearby here that's been helping me with it, and it's been locked up since April. So we're going to bring up the Firebird out of mothballs. We're going to resurrect that car. I'm excited. Will it run? It's been 12 years. It was raced, put in a trailer, and now we're going to bring it to my garage. Boom! There it is. 12 years in a trailer. Ever the optimist, I think it's going to run. It was running when it was parked, like a ran when parked episode. We're going to see if we can wake it up. Number one, the biggest concern, did that engine rust solid? Is the engine free? Will it turn? It's a dry sump, so we're able to turn the oil pump without turning the engine. So we can get oil pressure in the motor before we try to turn it. I hope it's free. If the engine's free, next step, change every fluid in the car. Oil, puts coolant in it, brake fluid, fuel. That's a big one. We got to check out the fuel system. You know that fuel's toasty, but it's probably race fuel. This is a World Challenge car with a built real live racing engine in it, an LT V8. But we don't know about the fuel cell foam. That degrades over time. We don't know if the injectors will wake up. There's a lot of question marks. We're going to change the fluids, get to the next step. Optimistically, I think we're going to make this thing run. Maybe not on this video. And I need some help. I need a real race car guy to get in here and help me work on this car, because I know which end of the wrench is the box end, but I'm really a driver. Watch this. Sorry to interrupt, Keegan, but I need you, my man. Look what we got. Firebird. Straight out of a trailer, been sleeping for 12 years. You want to help me wake this thing up? That loose, finger tight, except for these two. Now we, Keegan, have turned the oil pump. We actually got oil pressure on the gauge, which is a great sign, but turning just the oil pump. And now we, Keegan, are draining the oil, and it's a dry sump, so we got all kind of lines and coolers and pans to drain out. I got the filter off of it. It was really tight, came off hard. And next big moment, and this is a big moment, is the engine free? Can we turn it, or did this baby rust up when it was sitting in that trailer for 12 years? All right, moment of truth. I got a little breaker bar. We're going to put it on the engine here. See if it turns. Oh yeah. Nice. Sweet. Oh man, you know how good that is. 12 years in a damp trailer and the engine's not up. Now sometimes they rust inside and the rings will attach themselves to the cylinders. Look at that. It's free. Woo! That makes me so happy. All right, next step. But we've got the spark plugs out of the Firebird. Thanks to Keegan, got all fired up and pulled the plugs, which is not terribly easy to do actually, but man, can you see this? It's pretty nasty. And then we look down into the throttle bodies. A little bit of corrosion down in the manifold. It was sitting for a while, folks, and it was in a trailer that leaked. The great thing about ethanol, well, see, this thing was sitting for 12 years.
Yeah.
So there could be water in the system.
Yep.
And ethanol has alcohol, and alcohol basically is what we used to call dry gas.
Yeah.
Alcohol takes the water out. Molecules surround the water for some reason, and
Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
so that's going to just kind of naturally happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to get my hopes up, but we're making progress here. All right, I think I got the right oil filter this time. This is the truck filter, M1302. Whoa, you got the fuel cell apart. Oh, are those pickups just
Tubes.
they're just tubes?
Just tubes.
And they both go the same way?
Yeah.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah. This is backwoods backyard engineering.
Some guys run two pumps just to have a backup.
Spare. That's what this is. It's
Does
just
that
a
do
spare.
switches?
It's got the ignition, which runs this pump, but it's only a prime pump, or prime, until it actually starts running, because I think this is going off the ECU, which is what that is. But this pump has a switch on the panel. It's a second fuel pump switch.
So that one's not normally running.
No, that's a emergency.
It's the foam looks good?
Yep, no, nothing is disintegrating or.
Because that's a big deal. The foam gets,
Yeah.
that's a common problem I've heard of, especially sitting all those years. Good, good, good. And we're gonna need a gasket.
Yep, gasket
Right.
for sure.
That
You
was
got
simple.
2 puller pumps pullers feed into the surge tank.
So the pullers are good at sucking.
Pulling, pushing.
Pop it. Twist it. Tap it. If you can't keep up, twist it. You lose.
So they pull the fuel out of the tank. I'm used to seeing a lift pump in the cell, or
Right.
in the fuel tank. And so these just lift it out of the cell. Then they send it over here to this
Surge tank.
surge tank or whatever. It's got the return line from the engine into it. It's got an overflow back into the cell.
Yep.
And at the bottom is the
Fuel
line
out.
that goes to the
The fuel
Filter?
filter here. Then from the fuel filter to the main pump, the pressure pump.
pressure pump. Yeah, a surge tank gives you a good pickup because fuel sloshes a lot. And if you're pulling over 1G in a corner, which any decent car does, all the fuel is pushed up against one side of the tank. It's moving around. That's why they have foam, to dampen the fuel's movement. But drag racers always pick up from the back of the tank because the fuel goes back, and that's all they have to worry about. They're going straight. But in a road race, you got to pick it up all 4 directions. This car has just a couple simple hoses, but it has 2 of them, and it's going to a surge tank. And this surge tank should always have fuel in it until the thing's darn near empty. The engine uses what it needs, and the excess is pumped back here into that surge tank, and then if it's more than the surge tank can hold, it overflows into the cell. That's how you do it. And we know it works because this is an old car that's been racing for years.
Years.
We've had a
Decades.
lot of trouble. Hey, easy. We've had a lot of trouble with the Flying Moose getting the fuel pickups to work, and they still don't.
Right.
And I think it's because we're not doing enough sucking. All we're doing is blowing.
Really? Nothing.
And these pumps, they're good suckers. They lift the fuel out of the tank. They suck. And the suckers pump it into the surge tank, and then the surge tank is where the blower pump picks it up, the pressure pump.
Pressure pump.
That sends pressure to the engine. Fuel-injected motor like this will have 50 pounds or so maybe under throttle. So everything kind of looks like it might work.
I think so.
I really thought it would smell much worse, but we've got race fuel in here, not ethanol.
Right.
Ethanol degrades almost immediately. 3 or 4 months, it'll be no good anymore. It'll smell bad. It'll clog up any small orifices or passages. It's terrible for motorcycles. I got a garage full of tiny carburetors with tiny passages, and ethanol kills them. Never put ethanol in your vintage motorcycles. Take it from me. I'll do some work here, actually. I'll put the oil filter on.
All right.
And you hook all this up, and I got to tighten up the spark plugs, see if we got a spark.
Yep.
And what the hell?
Let's start it.
Let's see if it runs.
Let's do it. Wow, clean. Yeah. And it's literally a tractor filter. Those pickup tubes are not optimal. Alright, shut it off. It's got a little rigid over the years.
Then reverse. Because there's no over.
You only got 4?
So it's looking like. And reverse is up, there's no. Yeah.
That's hard to believe. All right, we got fresh oil. We got fresh fuel. I think we got spark. The engine's free. We got a battery on the charger. We got Keegan at the wheel. And we're going to hit the buttons and see what happens. Come on, Keegan. Let's give it a shot. Hey, if it starts, keep the revs low. You know that. I'm optimistic. Yeah, hit it.
Come on, baby. You can do it.
Let the starter cool off a little bit. Wait a minute, let me tap on the injectors a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought I heard something happen when I hit that one. That ought to do something. Oh yeah. Need more battery.
Yeah. What's the battery charger on?
I think I should raise the revs.
Alright. Give her a go. Let's go. Come on.
We tried it, you know, it had like a little half hit there once or twice.
And it,
Let's go back up for a bit. You can tell by how quick it goes down, the battery's not happy. Because it tries at first. It goes wooga wooga woo, and then it gives up. I can go take the battery out of the Moose. Won't take that long. Okay, you're trying to suck it back in? Yeah, it's all right. No, it's all right. Oh, good job, good job. But it was burning some line too. Some electrical parts were on fire for a moment. It fired once.
Yeah, it did.
once or twice.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot of advance.
Dang it, it's still going.
Is it charged?
Yeah, come on. Oh, so close.
Checking the water level. It's running. Yeah. I really didn't think it was going to start. I mean, no miracle. We don't know if we can race this thing, but it's running, and it's running good. Nice job, Keegan. We're putting water in the car. It had almost none in it. Coolant and water. I think the thermostat may be stuck at this point. Not real sure. But that's just fantastic. Thing runs, it runs good. We took some timing out of it, right? It was kicking back real hard. So we threw it at it, turned the distributor old school. It's got a distributor, that's probably where the timing is done, right?
Yep.
This thing probably doesn't have a ECU or
It's got an MSD box.
MSD box. It's got a good spark. Exciting, man, I'm thrilled. The Firebird World Challenge car lives. What's next?
Brakes.
Brakes, well, it's in the air and the wheels are off.
It needs new rotors. It needs 17-inch rotors.
It does. The brakes are not very big for a 3,000-pound car with over 500 horse. I saw a dyno chart, but this thing's had so many engines in it that showed 440 pound-feet of torque at 6,000 RPM. That'd be a lot of horsepower. I'm skeptical.
We'll see.
It's so cool to hear this thing run. Yeah, amazing. Spit crap all over the floor. Got my favorite motorcycles dirty. I knew it would, but oh well.
Yes.
That's all part of the fun.
Wow.
All part of the fun.